This math summary focuses on the formal algorithm for multiplication of 1 and 2 digit numbers. It's a focus that's just one of our many ways of solving multiplication questions, but it's a formal way of doing it, and we need paper and pencil to be able to write it down. Now, when we're looking at solving any digit number with multiplication in the algorithm, we always start with the ones column. That's key to every multiplication algorithm that you do. So we say 3 times 6. The 6 is in the ones column. Well, 3 times 6 is 18. 18 is represented by a 10 and 8 more. So I can put my 8 little ones in my ones column, but the 10 needs to go to the tens column. And I say I bank the 10. Now, I use the term banking because we've built 10 in the number 18, and we put the 10 over in the tens column. Now that doesn't change 26 to become 12. It also doesn't add to the 2 and become 3. What I say is 3 times 2 tens is 6 tens, and I add one more 10 to make 7 tens, and that's how I get 78. Even when I have 3 digits, I do exactly the same, but now I'm going to build hundreds. I'm saying 2 times 5 is 10. I put down 0 for no ones and bank the 10 in the tens column where it belongs. Now that doesn't represent 14, and it also doesn't represent adding it to make 5. It represents 2 times 4 tens is 8 tens. Grab an extra 10 is 9 tens or 90. 2 times 100 is 200, and I get an answer of 290. Now I'm looking at 4 times 7. Well, 4 times 7 is 28. So I've got an 8 here and I've got a 20 here. It's quite possible to have not just one 10, but more than one 10. It could be 2, 3, or more 10s. Now I'm thinking of 4 times 3 tens. That's 12 tens, and grabbing the extra 2 tens to make 14 tens. Well, 14 tens, I could put down the 4 and bank up here. But what it represents, 14 tens, is 140. I put my 40 here in the tens column and my 100 over here. Now I've got 4 times 200 is 800 plus one more 100, 900, and that's how I get 948.
Every concept mastered builds confidence, and there are more than 200 steps just like this waiting on the My5 website. The link's below. Now let's finish strong.
Even if I have a 0 in one of my place values, like in the tens, I can still use the algorithm like this. 5 times 5 is 25. Well, I put down my 5 little ones and bank my 20. Now I don't consider this to be 5 times 20, and I don't consider it to be 5 times 2. I'm looking at 5 times 0. That's 0. And I grab the extra 2. So now I've got 2 tens, or 25. Now I do 5 times 3, which is hundreds. 5 300s is 1500, and that's how I get 1525 as an answer. So what am I doing? I'm doing a formal strategy. It needs to be very organized and neatly set out into the tens and the hundreds and all the different place values. I start multiplying in the ones always first. I build 10 and bank it. I build 100 and bank it. I talk about my place value as I'm solving my algorithms. Let's look at what I do when I'm multiplying by more than one digit, like in these questions. Now I've written the same question twice for a reason, because I could be looking at doing 0 times 1 is 0, and 0 times 2 tens is 0, and 0 times 400 is 0. I've got a whole row of zeros. That's kind of a waste of time. So to be more efficient, when I'm multiplying by a 2-digit number that's got 0 ones, I can represent 0 ones by putting that here, and that allows me now to move to the tens. So now I'm saying 3 times the 1 is 3, and 3 times the 2 is 6, and 3 times the 4 is 12. And very quickly I can get my answer. Let's have a look at when I'm multiplying by 2 digits and they're different numbers without a 0. I'm going to pretend the 2 tens isn't there and multiply everything just by 4, the ones. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. Grab that one more is 9. Now I'm looking at the 2 in 24. It stands for 2 tens. So I've got to put the 0 there to say I'm moving to the tens. That's super important. Now I'm doing 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 2 is 4. And now I have to add those 2 rows up. So I say 4 and 0 is 4, 2 and 2 is 4, 9 and 6 is actually 15, and 4 and 1 more is 5, and that's my answer. So multiplication needs to be very organised and set out with a huge focus on place value.